Hey y'all, welcome back to another episode of Topics and Tea with your girl Nah. If you're a new subscriber, make sure you like, comment, share, tell a friend, tell a friend. If you are a returning subscriber, hey, how you doing? Welcome back. So today's episode, yeah, no, come on now. I ain't gotta tell you what's in here. It's not hot tea because it's a little nice outside. I just got iced tea in here. But today's episode, I'm gonna be discussing. I feel like a topic that a lot of other people can relate to. Resenting your teen parents, because I went through this growing up. Sorry, I went through this growing up, and it was something that you know, I had to process and get through. But me and both of my parents are in good spaces right now. I don't know why I keep saying I gotta work on not saying it. Like I have to work on not saying that. But my dad had me when he was, I believe, 15 or 16. My mom had me, I ain't gonna tell her age, but she had me at a little teenage age as well. But it was really hard because growing up, when you have young parents, you feel like, you know, your life is just supposed to be perfect, especially if you're around other people and you see like some of your other friends getting stuff, or you see some of your other friends' families are still together and their parents are still together. You kind of want that for, like, you want that for you. Like, you want to have that dynamic as well. And I haven't had a chance to experience that. By the time I was born, things didn't work out for me. So I'm just going to try to give y'all, like, I'm going to stick to trying to do like 3 little key points that help me get through that process of resenting my parents, and, you know, kind of like looking at them funny, like, well, why didn't you do this? And kind of just pushing them, like, why didn't I have this? Why y'all didn't do this? Why y'all didn't make it work for me? Why couldn't y'all do this and that? So step one, well, not step one, tip number one, understand your feelings. For me, I had to process it. I didn't know that I was kind of resenting them or had some type of little ill will feeling towards them at the time. I just felt like, you know, I felt like it was just, I was mad and angry. But I kind of did resent them, and I didn't realize that, again, like I said, until now. You got to understand your feelings and know exactly what you're feeling. If it's something that you are unfamiliar with, because it may be someone that's a teenager that's going through this. So you may not understand. You may be trying to figure out your feelings and trying to figure out, you know, what, like, why am I feeling this way, or why isn't it, you know, why isn't things working out the way I want it? You may just not understand. So just one would just be understanding your feelings, trying to just wrap your head around everything that's happening. Don't stress yourself out about it. I honestly believe that it will work out, it will come to pass. If you just focus on just trying to wrap your head around what's going on. Don't try to put the weight of the world, the weight of their issues, the weight of whatever happened with their parents on your shoulders, because it will drive you crazy. Don't blame yourself. That's another thing. Like, was it me coming into this world that caused them to split? Like, did I do something? Don't blame yourself, because it's not your fault. Every child is a blessing, and you're never asked to be here, so never blame yourself for something like that. Tip number 2, be open to speaking with your parents about it. It took me a long time because, again, both of my parents were in their teenage years, so I had to kind of wait until I was a little old enough to kind of explain how I felt. Because when I was younger, I've always went to 2 different households. So for me, I had to kind of just be quiet for a while, because I loved having 2 households, because it was double the gifts, double the love. But at the same time, I kind of wanted to always do stuff as a unit, and it was like difficult back then because everyone was growing up, trying to figure themselves out, trying to grow up and be adults and just, you know, do the best that they can. But definitely be open to talking to your parents, because as much as we feel like they may not want to hear it, or they don't think the same thing that we're thinking, they do. They think the exact same thing that we're thinking, and it will help if we can go to them and say, hey, I just always wondered, like, why things never worked out, or why I never got a chance to have this type of family dynamic, as opposed to, you know, seeing one of my friends have both of their parents together, or why have I not been able to have a family vacation with all of us? Just some different examples, like with all of us together without it being like a big blow up or whatever the case may be. So definitely be open. talk to them. Like, let them know as much as you want to talk to them. I'm sure they want to explain it. You may be too young, depending on the age you are, but I can guarantee that they will do their best to kind of break it down to where whatever age range you are, it will fit, and they will explain it where you understand it. You know what I'm saying? Now, number 3, I had to learn that from my parents, they did the best that they could at the age that they were and at the time. I always would think that they could have done more, like they could have fought more, they should have fought more, because I'm worth them fighting more. I didn't ask to be here, so why didn't y'all do your best? Whether y'all liked each other or not, it's not about you, it's about the child. So why didn't y'all fight more? Why didn't y'all push more? Now, with me having my own kid and going through my own, I want to say not issues, but going through my own share of parenting and co-parenting and trying to figure life out for me and my son and all of us, you know what I'm saying? I completely understand now. I completely understand, because you do the best that you can as a parent, and that's all you can ever want your child to look up to you and think like my mom and my dad did the best that they could. And I understand now, like, it wasn't the perfect ideal family because it just wasn't healthy. And I can appreciate that now. When you're growing up, you don't understand a lot, as I said before. So now that I'm at the age I am now, I understand it wasn't healthy, and that probably was the best decision. And it worked out because I had a great childhood. A lot of things that people that I talk to where I'm from, they haven't had a chance to experience some of the things that I've had. And it's all because my dad literally did the best that he can. And he gave his all every time. My mom, she did the absolute best that she could. Every single time. I didn't want for anything. I had everything that I needed and wanted, and it was never a no. I was never told no. Like, you know, I was never told, oh no, you can't, I can't. It was always, all right, give me a few hours, or give me a day or two, I'll make it happen. And they always came through. And I now see that sometimes it takes time. It takes for you to develop. It takes you to have your own experience. It takes you to have your own child for you to understand that things happen in weird ways, and sometimes it's just meant to be that way. Sometimes I feel like had my life would have been different, where I've had both of them in the same household, would I still have the same drive? Would I still have the same focus? Would I still have the same determination? Would I still be this hungry to just be great? And will I still be willing to do any and everything it took for my son to not ever have to go through anything that I went through? If I had it that easy, would I still have the same push? I don't think that I would, had I had it a different way. For some reason, this could just be me. I feel like some kids, you do benefit from having both parents in the household, but sometimes I feel like if your parents are equally involved in your life, whether they're in separate households or in the same household, you don't get the same because you do resent whichever parent you're living with. If I lived with my mom and my dad wasn't in the house and he had another family somewhere else, I would resent him, and I would be upset because I'm like, you know, you having other kids, and now they're able to gain the experience that I never got a chance to. They're able to wake up to you. You're able to take them to school. You're able to be there when they get home from school. You're able to do all these things for them because you live in a house with them, and I never got that. So it took me a long time to, you know, be okay with that, because I have a little sister, and I always loved her, but I was like, dang, she getting something I never got a chance to get, you know? But now, like my dad, we're so involved in each other's lives. Like, we talk all the time, and he is trying to be there as much as he can. Even for my son, the times that he missed for me, he makes sure he never misses a beat when it comes to my kid, and I couldn't ask for anything more. So it's just definitely best to talk to your parents, definitely know your feelings, and definitely understand that they did the best they could with the time and the age that they were, whether it be young or old. It doesn't even have to just be teen parents. It can be any parent. Sometimes life happens and it just takes a toll and it takes a turn, but the way that you navigate it and try to navigate it in the most healthiest way possible is the most important thing. And allowing your kids to come to you and express themselves, and for you to still have that close bond with your child regardless of whatever the circumstances may be, I think is the best thing. So those 3 are just some of the tips that I use to kind of get over, you know, resenting my teen parents and kind of looking at them a little funny, if you would say. I want to thank y'all for watching. Make sure, again, like, comment, subscribe, share, tell a friend to tell a friend. Keep rocking with your girl Ep.9. Let's run it up. Keep on subscribing. Keep on hitting me up with different ideas. Keep on hitting me up if you want to kind of just talk. I appreciate all the comments. I appreciate all the love, the DMs. I honestly appreciate it. Until next time, y'all. See y'all next week. Y'all know I'm here each and every Monday. But before I go, remember, you are appreciated. Peace and love, y'all.